We definitely talked about this handhold earlier on. We talked about that pistol grip. Guys, the idea that we're trying to just get as much skin to skin, as much connection as we possibly can. We're not trying to hold with too much rigidness, right? We're trying to just be relaxed. We put our connection, our energy right in here so that we can afford to be relaxed everywhere else. And that means we're not really having to fight with each other too much.
Followers, gravity is my best friend. It really allows me to trust and to relax into the moment, into the situation, following, leading. And it's really important that my curl that I provide, the thing that I give back as a response, comes from these two fingers. And that I'm flexible. As you can see, I can stay strong and consistent with that curl, and I can move myself around, and all kinds of things can happen. And that's what allows us to stretch with our body rather than our fingertips. So be aware of that. If your partner keeps reaching for you, you need to maybe bring in some more of that conscious self-observation.
And we talked about just the idea that we can allow the movements to breathe, so if you have the space to do so, this is where we get to at the end of any given movement. If we're actually relaxed, we're actually trying to get some distance between us. So my default is not to tense up. It's of course possible, but again, that's maybe more specific to a feeling I want to create or maybe what my circumstances are allowing. We also talked about consistency in general from both the leaders and the followers, but especially for the followers, because that means that we're together in the right timing. And then if something speeds up, it's clearly as a result of the lead-follow dynamic changing, and that's not independent of me. And then also leaders and followers for that consistency just in how we take our steps. We have those exercises where we moved at different points, at different rates, just so that we can clearly identify what it does mean to move at a fairly consistent rate without any outlying type of thing happening. Yeah?
That brought us into a little bit of variations on triple steps, or variations of triple steps. We did one that crossed behind, it was called the sailor. Behind, open step, behind, open step.
And we did triple steps in all sorts of varieties, whether it's forward and back, back and forward, side, whoa, that's like side and cross, maybe with a grapevine. Again, there's so many options. It's really just the idea that you want to be comfortable utilizing triple steps in any variety of ways, so then they're just ready and accessible on the dance floor. And we took that for one specific variation that we were leading, where we had 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 2, 3, 4. And you got the idea with that. We had some swing out variations. Leaders, we had 1, 2, 3. Forward swing out, 6, 7, 8. Remember, we led that forward swing out. We had a triple step. Back and forward, swing, around, kick, ball change. And then follows had that sailor.
5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 5. And you can see that it's really important that my variations are portable, that I can be with my partner no matter where we're going and at what rate, even if I am changing what my feet are doing.
And leaders, we had our variation with gi-da, 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 We can isolate and just do one or the other. So I can go N1, N2, 3, and that's the only variation. Or I can do 1, 2, 3, and 5, and 6, 7, 8, or N1, N2, 3, and 5, and 6, 7. So any of those. And then Mona had
Be-do, 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 shop, do 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2. And I can do a lot with that rhythm. And I certainly can do a lot with my upper body because it gives a nice, consistent base.
We talked about our fall-off logs and our shorty Georges. Fall-off logs, we talked about just the basic rhythm, of course, is 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We gave options with the hands, whether it's clapping, or snapping, or any variety of things. We talked about that guy right there. 8, 1, 2, 3. Again, if we were to really analyze it, but really, it was just about that idea of keeping your feet a little mushier. And about your orientation, and about having that fall. Just remember, be specific about what you're doing. There's not really a wrong or a right, but there is habit versus choice.
We made sure there was music on when we practiced. on in the inside, right? We're not dependent. Todd and I, we don't need music to dance, actually. We dance because of the music. The music is the fire inside, but we also are able to do it. So check yourself, make sure that you can keep a song. So practice both ways, with and without music.
And then our Shorty George looks like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. We talked about the idea that we're walking down one thin line, that we're tucking one leg into each other. We have this sort of rolling on our feet. We don't aim for this, so none of this. It's more that. And we have the idea there's a little rise and a fall. Shoot, gida, and there's that crunching going on from side to side. Crunch, 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 crunch. And again, lots of things to do with the hands, but if you're confused, knock your knees and point your hands. That's it.
Great work. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.